Listen to me. The battle is not out there. It's in here. The fight that decides your future doesn't happen in the gym, in the classroom, or at work. It happens in your mind. Every single morning when you wake up, your mind has one mission: to test your control. And if you don't take charge, your mind will drag you back to your old habits, your old fears, your old excuses. You gotta make a choice: control your mind or it controls you. You become what you constantly think about. The mind is the starting point of everything that happens in your life. Every victory, every failure, every dream that comes true, and every dream that dies. It all begins with what you allow to live in your thoughts. Your thoughts are like seeds. Whatever you plant inside your mind will grow, whether it's fear or faith, doubt or belief, weakness or strength. You can't think small and expect to live big. You can't think negative and expect positive results. The life you live is simply the reflection of the thoughts you repeatedly entertain. If you tell yourself you're not good enough, you'll act like it. If you tell yourself you can, even when everything says you can't, your mind will start finding ways to make it happen. Most people lose the battle before it even starts because they lose in their minds first. They talk themselves out of opportunities, out of risks, out of growth. They let fear rent space in their heads. You gotta take control of that space. You've gotta guard your mind like it's a treasure chest, because what goes in will always come out on your actions. The problem isn't always your environment, it's your mindset. You can change your city, your job, your friends, but if your thinking doesn't change, your life won't either. Success doesn't start with money, luck, or opportunity. It starts with mindset. A strong mind creates a strong life. When you wake up in the morning, you got a choice. You can feed your mind with thoughts of strength, growth, and purpose, or you can feed it with fear, laziness, and excuses. Your mind doesn't care what you feed it. It will grow whatever you plan. That's why you gotta be intentional about your thoughts. Speak power even when you feel weak. Speak purpose even when you feel lost. The mind is like a muscle. The more you train it with positive, disciplined thoughts, the stronger it becomes. You can't expect to control your life if you don't first control your mind. Every successful person you see has learned how to control their thoughts. They face the same struggles, the same doubts, but they don't let those doubts take the driver's seat. When fear shows up, they acknowledge it, but they don't feed it. They focus on the goal, not the obstacle. Your thoughts are magnets. They attract what you focus on most. If you focus on problems, you'll see more problems. If you focus on solutions, you'll start seeing answers. The world doesn't change for you until your mind does. When your thoughts are powerful, your actions become powerful. If your thoughts are weak, your actions will crumble. The mind controls everything. The way you talk, the way you walk, the way you treat people, the way you see yourself. So if you want to elevate your life, elevate your thinking. Stop saying I can't. Stop saying it's too hard. Replace those words with I will. Oh, I must, and I'm built for this. Every time you say something negative about yourself, you are programming your mind to believe it. Every time you speak strength and possibility, you're rewriting your story. Understand this. Your mind will always look for evidence to support what you believe. If you believe you're a failure, your mind will show you reasons why that's true. If you believe you're unstoppable, your mind will find ways to prove that too. So you gotta decide what you want your mind to look for. Life responds to your dominant thoughts. You attract the energy you project. If your energy is low, your results will be low. If your thinking is powerful, your results will rise to meet it. The mind is your foundation. You can't build a mansion of success on a foundation of weak thoughts. You gotta talk to yourself differently. You gotta affirm who you are until your mind believes it. Tell yourself, I am capable. I am strong. I am focused. I'm enough. You gotta speak life even when you feel broken. You got to speak faith even when the facts say otherwise. The mind doesn't respond to reality. It responds to belief. If you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hands. That's not a quote. It's a law. Every great invention, every breakthrough, every success started as a thought that someone refused to give up on. Your thoughts are the architects of your destiny. You can't build a life of greatness with a blueprint of limitation. When your thoughts align with your purpose, you become unstoppable. But when your thoughts are filled with doubt, you build walls where there should be doors. Discipline is not about what you do. It's about how you think. The strongest people in the world aren't those who never get tired. They're the ones who have trained their minds to keep going even when everything inside them says stop. Most people think discipline is a physical thing, something you do when you feel motivated. But motivation fades. Discipline starts long before the action. It begins in the mind. The mind decides whether you'll get up when the alarm rings or hit snooze. The mind decides whether you'll chase your dream or let fear hold you back. Until your mind is under control, your body will always follow the path of least resistance. You can't wait to feel ready. You can't wait to feel inspired. You gotta move because your purpose demands it. The body listens to the mind. When your mind says, oh, we're not quitting today, your body will find strength it didn't know it had. When your mind says one more rep or one more call or one more call or one more hour, the body will obey. But if your mind is weak, it will convince your body that you're tired when you're not, that you're done when there's still something left inside. That's why discipline is not about muscles, it's about mindset. The moment you learn to command your thoughts, your actions will follow naturally. There's a war that happens every single day, and it's not outside, it's inside your head. One voice tells you to rest, to skip, to slow down, while another voice whispers, oh, you can do more. The one that wins is the one you feed. If you feed your excuses, they'll grow stronger. If you feed your commitment, it will take control. Discipline means choosing what you want most over what you want now. It means telling your emotion, you don't make the decisions here. I do it. That's mental control. That's what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Extraordinary. The people you admire, the ones who reach the top of their game, they're not special. They're trained. They've mastered the art of pushing past feelings. They've taught their minds that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. They don't rely on motivation because they know motivation is inconsistent. They rely on discipline because discipline doesn't care how you feel. It just demands action. You don't need to be the smartest or the strongest. You just need to be consistent. Discipline doesn't mean you love the grind. It means you're committed to it regardless of how you feel. Every time you act against comfort, you're training your mind. Every time you say, I'll do it anyway, even when you're tired, you're building mental muscle. Discipline grows through resistance. You can't build a strong mind avoiding discomfort. You gotta walk straight into it. The body will scream, the emotions will protest, but the mind must stay calm and focused. That's the power of mental control. When your mind is firm, the storms of life can't shake you. The excuses that once trapped you lose their power. You've got to start treating your mind like an athlete treats their body. You train it daily. You strengthen it through repetition. You discipline it through sacrifice. You feed it with purpose. You rest it with gratitude. The more you train your mind to stay focused and disciplined, the more unstoppable you become. You start to realize that success isn't random. It's the result of consistent, intentional thinking. Discipline is not a punishment, it's freedom. Because once your mind is under control, you're no longer a slave to your emotions, your laziness, or your doubts. Some people will say they don't have the energy, the time, or the motivation. But the truth is, they don't have control. You'll never find discipline in comfort zones. Growth and comfort can't live together. When you push yourself beyond what's easy, your mind learns that you are capable of more than you thought. Each small act of self-control adds up. Each time you follow through on your promise to yourself, you build confidence. That's how you create momentum. You stop depending on feelings and start depending on principles. There's nothing more powerful than a made-up mind. When your mind is set, no one can talk you out of your vision. No obstacle can stop you because discipline doesn't see limits. It sees possibilities. You stop asking, can I? And start saying, I will. The mind that's disciplined doesn't argue with excuses. It doesn't negotiate with laziness. It simply acts. You'll find that once you train your mind, success becomes predictable, not accidental. You begin to show up on the days others take off. You stay consistent when others quit. You keep your promises when others make excuses. That's the difference between those who wish and those who win. How you start your day determines everything that follows. The moment you open your eyes, the battle begins. Your mind is either going to command your day or be commanded by it. Most people lose their day before it even starts because they wake up reacting instead of creating. They grab their phone, scroll through social media, read other people's opinions, and fill their mind with noise. By the time they get out of bed, their energy has already been drained. You can't win the day like that. You have to wake up with intention, with focus, with the decision that today will not control you. You will control it. Winning the morning isn't about a routine. It's about ownership. The first hour after you wake up sets the tone for everything else. If you start in chaos, your mind stays scattered all day. If you start with purpose, your mind stays sharp and disciplined. That's why the great ones guard their mornings like gold. They don't let distractions in. They don't hear snooze. They don't wake up complaining. They take control of the first moments of the day because they know those moments decide whether they'll win or lose mentally. You can't expect to have a powerful day with a weak start. When you rise early before the world starts pulling at you, you give yourself space to think, to breathe, to set your intention. That's the time to speak to your purpose, to remind yourself who you are and what you're chasing. When you wake up late, rushing, anxious, and unprepared, your mind is already in survival mode. But when you wake up with discipline, gratitude, and clarity, your mind becomes your weapon. That quiet hour in the morning is your reset button. So it's where you align your thoughts before the noise of the world tries to distract you. You got to decide what kind of energy you want to bring to the day. Do you want to carry peace or chaos, focus or confusion? That decision is made before sunrise. Most people think the day controls them, but the truth is they just never took control. Winning in the morning means doing what you said you would do, even when you don't feel like it. It's getting up when your body says stay in bed. It's choosing discipline over comfort. The mind will try to talk you out of it, but that's when you remind yourself comfort never created greatness. When you wake up and move with purpose, your energy shifts. You start feeling stronger, clearer, more focused. You begin to operate at a higher level because you've trained your mind to start in victory, not defeat. You don't wait for motivation. You create it. You build it through movement, through gratitude, through action. The people who win in life are not those who have the best mornings. They're the ones who make their mornings count no matter how they feel. They wake up tired but move anyway. They wake up discouraged but still show up. That's how you train mental toughness. Your morning should not be a reaction to life. It should be a declaration. You wake up and say, today I win. Today I lead. Today I control my thoughts. You fill your mind with words that empower you instead of drain you. You write your goals, you pray, you plan, you move. Because when your mind starts in motion, your life follows. The small disciplines in the morning become the big victories later. If you can control the first hour, you can control the next 23. Winning in the morning is not about perfection, it's about direction. Some mornings will be messy, some will be heavy. But even then, you show up. Because every day you wake up and take control, you prove to your mind that you're stronger than your excuses. You start teaching your brain that you don't follow feelings, you follow purpose. That's what separates the dreamers from the doers. Dreamers let the day happen to them. Doers shape the day by controlling their mindset from the moment they rise. When you start the day with gratitude, something powerful happens. You stop focusing on what's missing and start seeing what's possible. Gratitude changes the chemistry of your mind. It opens your heart, sharpens your focus, and replaces fear with faith. You start realizing that no matter what the day brings, you're equipped to handle it. When you begin your day in gratitude, you carry peace through chaos. When you begin in purpose, you carry strength through struggle. The truth is, you can't win big if you keep losing small. And the morning is where small wins happen. Getting up on time is a win. Avoiding distractions is a win. Choosing focus over scrolling is a win. Every win builds confidence. Every morning you conquer yourself, your day bends to your will. But every morning you let your excuses lead. Your day owns you. That's why controlling the morning is the key to controlling your life. It's where momentum begins. Pain is not your enemy, it's your greatest teacher. Every person who has achieved something meaningful has learned to face pain instead of running from it. Most people spend their lives avoiding discomfort, hiding from challenges, and praying for an easy path. But the truth is, the easy path never made anyone strong. Growth only happens when you're willing to face the pain embrace it, and use it to build yourself. When your mind is in control, pain becomes power. When your mind is weak, pain becomes a prison. The difference between the two is how you interpret it. When something hurts, your first instinct is to stop, to pull back, to protect yourself. That's the body's reaction. But when your mind is strong, it knows that pain isn't punishment. Every struggle you face is shaping you, stretching you, preparing you for something greater. Pain is the pressure that molds potential into power. Without it, you stay the same. The reason most people never reach their dreams is because they back down the moment things get uncomfortable. They let pain control them instead of controlling the pain. You can't expect to grow if you're always running from the very thing that's trying to make you stronger. You've got to train your mind to see pain differently. Stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, well, what is this teaching me? Every setback carries a lesson. Every heartbreak builds a more strength. Every failure sharpens your focus. Pain is how life teaches resilience, how it separates those who are ready from those who are not. If you can learn to endure pain without breaking, there's nothing life can throw at you that would defeat you. Pain doesn't come to destroy you, it comes to develop you. Think about the gym. The only way muscles grow is through resistance. You lift weight, you feel the burn, you push through it, and your body adapts. The same rule applies to your life. Mental and emotional growth requires resistance. Every challenge you face is like a weight on your soul, and the more you push through it, the stronger you become. Pain is not the problem. Avoidance is. The people who succeed in life are not the ones who never feel pain. They're the ones who don't let pain stop them. They've learned to translate it into motivation, into fuel, into hunger. You can't let pain silence your purpose. You can't let it steal your voice. When life hits hard, and you've got two options. You can let it break you, or you can let it build you. You can't always control what happens, but you can control how you respond. That's where your power lies. When your mind is disciplined, you can take that pain and turn it into focus. You can use it as a reminder of why you started in the first place. Pain can either make you bitter or better. The choice is yours. Most people misunderstand pain because they see it as a sign that something's wrong. But sometimes pain is a sign that you're moving in the right direction. When you step out of your comfort zone, it's supposed to hurt. That's the cost of growth. You can't reach a new level while clinging to the old one. The pain you feel while chasing your dream is nothing compared to the pain of regret. Regret is the kind of pain that never leaves because it comes from knowing you quit too soon, that you let your fear win. You've got to decide which pain you're willing to live with, the pain of discipline or the pain of regret. When you control your mind, you take ownership of how pain affects you. You stop reacting emotionally and start responding strategically. You begin to see pain as feedback, not failure. It tells you what needs to change, what needs to grow, what needs to be released. That's how winners think. They don't waste energy complaining about what hurts. They focus on what that pain is building inside them. Every scar becomes a story of survival. Every struggle becomes a step toward strength. The truth is, you can't avoid pain, but you can transform it. You can turn it into purpose. The most powerful people are those who have suffered deeply but refuse to let it define them. They let it refine them. They use every heartbreak, every disappointment, every setback as fuel to rise higher. Pain forces you to confront who you are. It strips away the fake, the comfort, and the excuses. It reveals your true strength. When your mind is strong enough to embrace pain, nothing can stop you. You no longer fear struggle because you know it's part of your story. So don't run from it. Don't hide from it. Don't curse it. Face it. Learn from it and grow through it. Every ounce of pain you endure is shaping you into the person you're meant to become. Life will test you. It will try to break you. But if you can control your mind, you can turn every painful moment into progress. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. When you choose to see pain as power, you take back control, not just of your mind, but of your destiny. You can't let your feelings decide the direction of your life because feelings are temporary, but purpose is permanent. One day you feel unstoppable, and the next day you feel like giving up. That's the danger of living by emotions. They change too easily. Faith, on the other hand, doesn't depend on how you feel. Faith stands firm when everything else is shaking. If you want to achieve something meaningful, you've got to stop letting your emotions control your actions. You've got to decide that no matter what mood you wake up in, no matter what the circumstances look like, you'll keep showing up for your dream. Feelings are inconsistent. They can be influenced by a bad night's sleep, a harsh word, or a small failure. If you allow your emotions to run your life, you'll be up one day and down the next, starting and stopping, never finishing what you began. But when faith takes control, you move with consistency. You understand that your emotions can't be trusted to lead you. They can be acknowledged but not obeyed. You don't need to feel ready to take action. You don't need to feel confident to step forward. Faith is doing it anyway. It's moving when everything inside you screams, oh wait. It's believing the process even when the results aren't visible yet. The people who accomplish great things are not those who always feel good. They're the ones who act on principle, not on emotion. They understand that feelings come and go, but commitment must remain. Faith gives you something to stand on when your feelings try to pull you down. When your mind says, you're tired, faith whispers, oh, you're capable. When fear says, you can't do this, faith replies, you already started, keep going. That's what separates those who win from those who quit. Winners learn to silence their emotions long enough to let faith lead the way. There will be days when you wake up discouraged, when everything feels heavy and nothing goes as planned. That's when your mind will test your strength. You'll hear that voice saying, what's the point? But that's when faith has to speak louder than feelings. You remind yourself why you started. You remind yourself what you're fighting for. You remind yourself that storms don't last forever. You don't have to feel brave to act brave. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's action in spite of it. That's what controlling your mind looks like. It's not pretending your emotions don't exist. It's refusing to let them dictate your next move. When faith leads, perspective changes. Instead of seeing obstacles, you see opportunities. Instead of focusing on what's missing, you focus on what's possible. Faith trains your mind to look beyond the moment. It tells you that even if today is painful, tomorrow has purpose. Emotions will tell you to give up because the process is slow, but faith reminds you that growth takes time. Emotions will tell you you're not enough, but faith says you're becoming who you need to be. The mind that operates from faith is grounded. It doesn't sway with every emotional wave. It stays focused on the bigger picture. You've got to understand that the mind can't be trusted when it's emotional. Decisions made in moments of anger, fear, or sadness rarely lead to good outcomes. That's why you need faith to guide your judgment. Faith brings clarity. It gives you stability when life gets uncertain. It allows you to keep working, to keep believing, to keep striving even when everything around you says it's impossible. That's real power. The ability to move forward without needing everything to feel right first. Faith also teaches patience. It reminds you that the delay isn't denial. Just because something hasn't happened yet doesn't mean it won't. Emotions make you want to quit when results don't come fast enough. Faith teaches endurance. It teaches you to keep watering the seed even when you can't see anything growing. It tells you that every effort, every step, every sacrifice is part of something bigger. The people who live by faith don't need constant reassurance. They have inner peace that comes from trust, not feelings. The truth is, your feelings will always fluctuate. You'll never completely eliminate fear, doubt, or discouragement. But you can train your mind to act from faith instead of reacting from emotion. That's where strength comes from. When your emotions are low, but your faith is high, you become unstoppable. You stop depending on motivation and start relying on discipline. You stop needing proof and start believing in possibilities. Faith doesn't make things easy. It makes them possible.